Max and Christy podcast. I'm Christy Ogle.
Max Ogle.
And we are the Max and Christy Show.
Max and Christy. Christy and Max. Max and Christy. Christy and Max.
I love that intro.
That's pretty awesome.
If we could just do it like every time instead of having to listen to the recording, but we never could nail it.
No.
Just that once.
We don't just have the intro recorded. We have to go back and listen to a bunch of different ones to see which one sounds the best.
Yeah. So today, in Spouse Stories from Christy and Max, we wanted to discuss how we met, because yesterday was the anniversary of our first meeting 25 years ago.
Yep.
Tell me what it looked like to you, Max Ogle.
Well, I mean, I was just out looking for a comfortable chair to sit in. That's what I was doing. And when I walked into handyman, is that right?
Uh-huh.
I walked in there and I just kind of looked around for a minute, and then about that time she came bouncing around the corner of this stuff. Well, I think it was like a living room set or something like that, and asked me if she could help me. Sure enough, she could. So, you know, I told her what I was looking for, and I guess we probably introduced ourselves before that. But
I think I would be like, "Hi, I'm Christy.
well, I don't think you were quite that.
I'm Christy, the furniture salesman."
I don't think you were quite like that back then.
Oh.
Probably a little quieter.
Hi, I'm Christy.
Yep, that sounds more like it. And then she started showing me recliners, and you know, and then I bought one, a green one, mind you. And what was it? The next day? Yeah, the next day I sent you a bunch of flowers and asked her out on a date before I even got my chair, which was a mistake. And then we went out, was it that Friday night? Saturday night?
I think it was Sunday because you worked.
It was Sunday.
It was an odd day.
Yeah. So we went and seen a movie. What was the name of that movie?
Something to talk about with Julia Roberts.
Yeah. And then where did we go eat at?
El Slabres.
Yeah. It wasn't Slabres. It was El Sombres in Nevada Mo.
They had the best taco salads.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good. And then that was the beginning. She did give me a peck on the cheek that evening.
Mwah.
So
Nothing more. I'm not that kind of girl.
So I was the winner of the evening until my chair showed up. And what color was my chair that you ordered me instead of green?
It's pink.
It was pink.
Yep. Like the color of my lips.
Yep.
It's pretty.
I called it mauve. So
No, it was pink.
it was pink.
Yeah, it was a lazy bueno.
But I had to be more manly in front of the guys that came over, so it was mauve. I think I even told them that it was free.
Oh, that chair cost you.
But I never did return it. Never did say anything about the color. It was what it was.
I'm not a detail person.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have probably been writing down SKUs.
So, and then fast forward to, 2 years later? We were married, and
3 years.
3 years later, we were married and popping out babies.
No, we didn't pop out
Oh.
babies until 20 years ago.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Let's not get them confused how
Oh,
the spouses
sorry.
started their family
Sorry.
first together.
But I mean, that's the way that we met, you know. And then everything else has been kind of, you know, normal, I guess. You know, where she left and went to college while we were dating. It was a long distance relationship there for a while.
Yeah.
Um,
Every time a snowflake fell,
time to go home.
it was time for me to go home from Branson to see Max. I was only there Monday through Thursday.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was just Monday evening through Friday morning. Like, I would get home as quick as I could because I was this guy. This big old bald head. But it didn't used to be bald.
No, I actually had hair.
He
there.
had a full head of brown curly hair. He had this wavy hair in the back that I would play with. It was brown and it was like thick hair. No, we did not know this was going to happen.
This is what being married and having kids for 25 years get you. Right there.
Oh, wow. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful holiday.
Yeah.
That's not quite how I remember it.
Oh, well, you tell your version of the story.
I was working at Heilig Myers.
Oh.
I was the #1 salesperson for recliners in the entire nation with over 850 stores.
Can I interject here? What does this have to do with us?
It's the story of us.
Oh, okay. All right. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Spin your yarn.
So I was totally focused on selling recliners because you got some kind of big bonus. I can't remember what it was. I think it was cash. So I'm in the office. It is like a Wednesday or Thursday afternoon. And it was a furniture store, so there was furniture everywhere, and we had to like make sure it was good. And it was me and another salesman that worked there, and Mike Callahan. Mike Callahan always used to steal my leads, by the way. I had a sheet full of leads, and this guy took it. I was 19 years old. He stole a little girl's leads sheet, by the way.
I knew Mike Callahan, and that does not surprise me a whole lot.
He was sneaky. So, Mike Callahan, if you're watching, I need an apology. Because you never apologized, but you got in trouble for stealing my leads because Troy found it in your desk.
For 25 years ago, if you apologize, Mike, we'll take you off that list.
Yeah. So, okay, I got off subject. So, I was like focused on selling recliners, and earlier in the day I'd sold to another ogle. They'd gotten a sofa bed. They lived on a street that had a corner that turned right in front of their house, which was really odd, and I don't know how I know that all these years later, but I remember they were ogles, and I'd never heard that last name before.
It was all part of the plan.
Did you know him?
No.
Were you related to him?
I don't believe so.
I don't think you were. So, back to the story. I was walking around a corner. There were these big glass windows that was at the front of the entire store. And I round the corner at the very front where the front door is that are just big glass doors. And there he is, a man looking at the recliner. It was a big man's recliner. Made sense, 6'4".
Big guy?
You're a big guy. He walks in, dirty as can be, head to toe. Okay, maybe just his clothes look dirty, but they were caked with something, and I thought, how come this guy isn't taking a shower? Or cleaning his clothes?
I just worked with a lot of glue, so.
Yeah, he worked in a furniture plant that they laminated something or other on desk or something like that. I never really understood, but that's what he did, and that was his story. I wasn't like rude and said, why are your pants dirty? I just knew this was my next victim. Yeah. I mean, sale.
That is correct. You used the right word the first time.
So I walk over to him. I notice he's looking at the recliner. It's my up. Mike Callahan didn't get it. He must have been to lunch or something because he didn't steal it.
Sleeping.
And I walk around the corner, and there's Max, and he's I think he's in like a purple extra large t-shirt and these jeans that looked like they were caked with glue or something. And he needed a recliner, and I asked him, I was like, what do you need a recliner for? And he said, well, I like to sleep in it. I think he worked nights back then.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I was wearing a blue and white plaid dress.
Yes, you were.
Very, very important. And so he looked at the big man's recliner. He really liked it. He wouldn't sit in it because he was dirty. He probably pointed it out to me. I probably didn't notice it. But so I was like, oh, come on, let's go look at the 20 other recliners we have in the store. So I go over there. I show him the recliners. And I was like, no, sit down in it. And he said, no, I'm dirty. And I asked him, I said, won't your wife or girlfriend be upset if you're sleeping in the recliner?
Sneaky she is.
And he said, he was a handsome man. He still is. Very, very handsome.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, the ogle. man is a handsome man. And so he says, no, I'm not going to sit in it. I don't want to get it dirty. I've got this glue on my pants. You know, I'm getting ready to go to work. And I said, okay, I'll sit in it for you. So I sit down in the recliner. I put my legs up, and he always says that when I put my legs up, I gave him a flash of something. Not that kind of girl. I'm pretty sure I wore Spanx before there was Spanx.
Why do you think I sent her flowers the next day?
And he decided he wanted that big man's green chair out front. Little did I know, I caught the Max eye.
Yep.
The ogle eye that now I have. The ogle eye. And so I take him back there, get him with the credit department. He gets the cherry once I order it. The next day, I'm sitting at my desk, and my friend Misha comes up. She usually wore ponytails, so she's hopping around with her ponytail, and she says, Christy, these flowers are for you. And I was like, no, I'm sure they're from Travern, her husband. I said, who would I get flowers from? And there were 6 pink carnations and 1 rose. And it was Max asking me out.
So 1 rose. I was the bachelor before the bachelor.
Yeah. And so that was you.
That was me.
That was a good insight there,
I
Max.
started that show.
So proud.
A long time ago.
And so he asked me out. He called me up a little bit later that day because it was back in the time before cell phones. And he and I decided to meet for a date on Sunday evening, where we went to El Slabres, one of my favorite Tex-Mex restaurants before I even knew there was such a thing, moving to Texas. It was in Nevada, Missouri. And we had dinner, but I knew I didn't want to look like a pig.
What'd you order? Was it a salad?
A taco salad.
I don't know what I ate, but I'm pretty sure I looked like a pig.
They had I think you had a taco salad that night too, because I thought that was strange, a big guy like you eating a taco salad.
I was trying to keep fit and trim.
Yeah, I was 19. You were 21, right? 22?
21, I think.
And so we ate. We didn't drink because I wouldn't have been able to get anything. You didn't drink anything either.
Nope.
And then we ate. Best taco salad ever. They had like a... It wasn't salsa like in Texas. It was more like a taco sauce or something that went on top of it. And I didn't eat a bunch of chips and salsa because me and my girlfriends talked about it because I hadn't been on a date in a while. So I was really good. Then we went to watch this movie, and he kept moving closer and closer.
Yes,
and he kept trying to hold my hand. It was date number 1, girls. No. I let him brush it. I didn't let him hold it. That's more of a second date kind of thing.
Oh. All right.
And then we went and saw Something to Talk About. And it was fun. It wasn't really the best movie. I wish we had something like a better first date movie, because that one's kind of dry and boring. It wasn't one of Julia Roberts' best movies.
It's all right.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad it wasn't Pretty Woman, because then you would have had expectations that night. If you could have a first date movie instead of Something to Talk About, what would you have it be?
I don't think it would be anything different. I think it would have been something to talk about.
I think I would have it be Avengers Endgame.
Wow.
Yeah. But that wouldn't have come out until last year or the year before, and that would have been weird because we would have been old and we couldn't have kids because I'm too old.
Yep. Wouldn't want them now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Maybe we'll just keep Something to Talk About. Whatever. Yep. It's a great song. And so then at the end of the day, which I almost didn't go with him because he had a sky blue Escort station wagon.
Guys, it was the shaggin' wagon. You know what I'm talking about.
We took my car instead of the shaggin' wagon. So at the end of the day, Max goes, would you like to come over and watch a movie? I've seen Unsolved Mysteries every episode. My mom's warned me about boys like you. I said no.
She didn't say all the other stuff about Unsolved Mysteries. She just said politely no. The date ended in the parking lot?
Yes, it did, with a peck on the cheek. That was it. He wasn't getting any more, even though he paid for dinner in the movie. I wasn't that kind of girl.
Yeah. Been paying ever since then, too.
Yep. Yep.
But yeah, that's the way it went.
Do you wish, and the chair came in, and it was pink. Like this color pink.
Yeah, it was nice looking. I used it. I didn't really care what color it is as long as it set good.
Yeah. So he could sleep in it because he worked nights. He loved that chair, and we had it for 10,
I wore that
15
sucker
years.
out, man.
We did not bring it to Texas with us 13 years ago.
No.
It was really wore out. Because let me tell you a story. We broke up for a while, and I knew the chair was important to him. So while we broke up, I took all the screws out of it. I thought about putting a dead fish in it.
Yeah.
Or a dead mouse, but I didn't. I just took it apart, and then when we got back together, he was like, do you have those screws for that recliner? I couldn't remember where I put them.
Ruined my favorite recliner. Haven't found one since then that I like.
But that was a while back. It was like a break in a relationship, like Rachel and Ross. But yeah, we were on a break.
But it was good. It was good. What would you change about our first date if you could change anything?
I mean, maybe the movie, like I said, Avengers Endgame or something, but I don't think intellectually I could have enjoyed that show when I was 19 years old because that was a man movie. I mean, if I had to choose like a Julia Roberts movie because she was big back then, right? I mean, it would be something to talk about. It was about people falling back in love. Yeah. They were cheating though. Sorry, spoiler. They got back together.
The movie's 20-some years old. How can it be a spoiler?
25 years old. So, I mean, maybe we would have went to JT Maloney's, but it was closed on Sundays. Yeah. That's why we went to El Sabre.
And that was the only movie theater in town.
Yep.
So we didn't have many choices. I think it was either that or a cartoon.
Back in the day when they had one movie released a week.
Yep. Now they have, well...
They used to. Remember the days when you could go to a movie theater?
Yep.
Yeah. What would you change?
I don't know if I'd change anything or not.
Yeah, maybe I would have got you the right recliner. That would have showed I was a better salesperson.
It really wouldn't have mattered a whole lot. You'd have still took the screws out of it.
Yeah. And that little girl that was 19 years old ended up being one of the top 20 salesmen in the United States.
And again, what?
1990.
What does this have to do with our relationship?
Nothing. I just wanted to let them know.
Oh, okay. Were they on the edge of their seats?
They were. They wanted to know what happened with Christy as a salesperson at Heilig Myers. What happened to Heilig Myers?
What was it?
I worked there for 6 years, by the way.
And then they closed.
They did. The CEO got fired. He wanted the entire payment of his $8 million contract. Heilig Myers filed bankruptcy and closed.
Peace.
Several years later. Chicken was a baby when they closed.
Yeah.
So that's where we met, Nevada Mo. We've been together for 25 years as of yesterday. There's been a couple other boyfriends in between there when we had breaks.
Been married, will be married 23 years in October.
Yes. So it's been a ride.
Been together longer than we've been apart.
So there's nothing that you would change?
No. How about you?
No. Because it's led us to who we are.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, why would you change anything? It would have changed the whole outcome of everything.
Yeah. That was your spouse story for today. I'm Christy Ogle.
Max Ogle. Hope you all liked it.
And that's how the spouses met.